Hello everybody and welcome to Sons of the Forest, katana only. So that basically means I can only use a katana and not a single other weapon, except for one exception, but you will see that later in the video. On the way to the first cave, I encountered some enemies. Now I did kinda forget that I cannot use an axe as a weapon, but it doesn't change much, so you can complain in the comments, but I don't care. First up was the shallow cave. Now caves are pretty scary. There are enemies, not a lot of enemies, but still. At this point is the only weapon I am legally allowed to use because it's literally impossible to beat the game without it, so yeah. At the end of the game I finally got the zipline, which is literally also impossible to beat the game without, so yeah. Then I entered the rebreather cave. It's the same thing, I got my hands on the rebreather and I could finally head out to enter the last cave. Anyways, next up was the maintenance bunker, where I got myself hands on the keycard, which is crucial to beating the game. Next up was the food bunker, which I also need just to get a keycard. This keycard I need to get a katana. At the end of the bunker there is a boss fight, which I am not prepared to. So I died. Luckily when you die for the first time in a bunker or a cave, you just respawn without losing anything. So I did. Next up was the entertainment bunker, or as some people like to call it, Planet Fitness. There I finally found the keycard. I got myself hands on the guitar. I almost died. Almost. By saying almost, I mean I died. And this time I died for real. After coming back, I finally got my hands on the chainsaw, which I probably will never ever use. And also there was probably very important cutscenes that I don't really care about. I just want to beat the game, so I'm just gonna skip it for you. I finally managed to get out of this cave to some place which also want to kill me like 24/7, but okay. There I also saw a very important part of the story that I don't really care about, Virginia, which is a companion I can get, but I don't have time for that. I finally got into the bunker where you can find the katana, and there was also a very important cutscene that I don't care about, so I am also gonna skip it. At this point I entered the room, the final weapon of mine, the katana. It was so awesome finally being able to kill enemies. And that was really, really powerful. It's a good weapon even when you don't need to use it, but when you do need to use it, it's the best weapon you can use. I mean, it's because it's the best weapon. It's the only weapon I can use, so it is the best weapon. Now, it does require a lot of skill to use, but I'm sure I will figure this out as I go. In the next room there were some important things that I don't really care about, but there were also some enemies that of course killed me. Luckily I did respawn, but still, if I died once more I would be toast. And next up I died. Some enemies that blocked my way. Now you may think, well, it's not that big, you can just respawn, but my save file was really far away from there, so that was devastating. Now I did lose some footage, so you don't really see it, but I got myself into the last cave, finally got back the katana, which I lost, and also started to understand how to use it properly. So it's like kinda, he attacks, then you run when he attacks, then once he stops attack, you attack him. Easy. At the end of the cave, I guess, you got the most important item in the game. I mean, one of the most important items in the game, because it's literally impossible to beat the game without it. A golden armor, which no one really cares about, and an artifact, which I also don't care about, but yeah, I guess it's cool. I got jump scared by some demons, which are pretty dangerous to fight unless you have a cross, which I of course cannot use, because I can only use a katana. Which of course I forgot to do something very important, so I had to go back all the way to the katana bunker, so I had to do this. Which, well, it was annoying, but but after finally heading back there, all I had to do was gather a blueprint. Now this blueprint is very important since it allows me to craft a bathtub, which I, of course, need, and a material that I don't have, that it's very rare, that only can be found in a cave and in some places, but luckily there's an exploit. See, if I exit and enter back to this world, it restarts. It resets the very important material in one place, which means I have basically infinite of it. Now I need 6 of them, and I only have 2 maybe? Well, yes, it's not very that much. I know I'm yapping, but that's because I have no idea what am I even talking about. Yeah, so I need 6. I found an exploit to make me get it basically infinite amount. So after saving, exiting, and going back a couple of times, I finally got enough of this sulfite ore. I also had a brilliant idea, since, well, using this bathtub summons a lot of enemies, so I can just build it on a raft, and I won't die almost instantly, and that's very big brain from me. Now this thing will summon some pretty cool effects and will upgrade this armor so I can finally beat the game with it. I don't really care about this armor, but it's required to beat the game, so it will have to do. With this armor I can finally enter hell. No, I mean it's literally hell, with a survivor of the first game, and well, I only do this to and beat the game, so I don't know, I forgot what I was doing. And well, there are a lot of demons, which is, well, bad, but also he can kill them easily, and I get 3 armors for the final boss battle, which is easier than the second final boss battle? I don't really know. The hardest enemy, which I can literally just tank and hit him normally, and he will be able to tear off my armor a bit, but I don't care. Once again, another cutscene you don't care about seeing, but it's required to get to the final area of the game, so I'll do it. Now the final boss fight is really anticlimactic. I just literally walk right into him and just hit him constantly. Now it's not hard, and it also doesn't look that great. It's just a big piece of meat which I hit with a katana. Well, I don't really care, but well, I did beat it, got to the final cutscene, and finally was able to hear the music. Thanks for watching, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!